Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Holla Great people, how is your life getting on? I hope that all of you are staying in the great condition. In this opportunity, I would like to work on my Qualitative Research Method in Language Education subject assignment that tells me to explain you all about the 6 steps or process in doing research itself. But before I go to the explanation, let me introduce myself. Well, I am Koniat Zakia. My number is T 2019 6188 and I'm from English Education Department 4. Well, back to the explanation. So before we are doing the research, we have to pay attention to the 6 steps or process in doing research. So this is very important for you all to be implemented, to be done by learners, students, teachers, or even researchers all over the world. So for the first steps is identifying research problem. So this steps becomes the most pivotal matter in many kind of steps before. So you can call this, it can be the key of doing research. So what can you do to identify the research problem? So for the first is find out the phenomenon of the problem. So we have to find out the phenomenon of the problems around us. So we are not only creating a research that talks about a common topic, a common issue, a common phenomenon of the problem, but we are trying to find out the nuance or the phenomenon of the problems around us, either from the education, the learning process of in the classroom, and etc. And the second is specifying an issue to the issue of your study or your research. So it means that you limit, specifying, right? The word of specifying means you limit the subject and you have to focus on a specific aspects of your study or your research. So in identifying research problem, you have to pay attention of it also, because you will not talk largely or you will not talk out of the subject that you want to have a research. So you have to be specific. The study or the issue or even the aspect of your study should be specific. And the third is developing a justification for study. So it means that in identifying research problems, so you have to develop the justification of the study, the fact of the study. So you have to develop this case, this matter in your research problem. And the last is giving suggestion. So when you are identifying a research problem, in the other side you have to give the suggestion to the readers all over the world about the importance of your study. So it means that, for example, when you are doing a research such as the implementation of reading a book in online class. So you have to give the suggestion why do you take this aspect or take this object as your problem, as your research problem. And then for your information, in the background issue or in the background in the background of your research that you write should consist of research problem. Well, okay, that's for the first step of doing research. And the second is reviewing the literature. It means that we review the previous literature that has been written, that has been published by many people, by many researchers, by many writers in the world. So in this case, it aims to us that it is corroborating the research problem that our research problem is good, is worth it, something like that. And also the reviewing literature it gives an aid at our insight to do analysis. So when we are reviewing the previous literature, the previous writers, the previous articles that we are gonna read for our research, so it adds insight for ourselves to have more better analyzing in the next time, something like that. And the third is about the specifying a purpose for research. So as like what our lecturer said in the previous meeting, she explained us about if in the international research it relates or refers to the research problem, but when it is staying in our university, it refers or it relates to the research question. So specifying a purpose for research is relating or referring to the research questions. So we are trying to specify our purpose in doing research. So why do we do this research? Why does this research very important to be done by us? Something like that. And also specifying a purpose consists of first identifying the major intent or objective of the study. So means we are told to specify the intent, the reason, the objective of our study in our research. And also it narrows the specific research question. So because we are staying in the university, it refers to the research question. Besides that, the purpose of statement consists of the measure of study, the measure of participants, and locations regarding to the study or the research. Well, for the first steps or process of doing research is collecting data. So many kind of ways to collect data for our research. For the first is quantitative. So in this manner or in this way, we collect the data in the shape or in the form of number. So the data shaped number. And the second is about the qualitative research or the qualitative manner or ways. It means that we collect data from many kinds of people experiences, either teachers, students, lecturers, or many others experiences. So the next is observation. So there are two kinds of observation in this part. So for the first is participative. So this means is we are doing a research while we are taking a part what we research for. And the second is non-participative. It is opposite with the participative, where we are doing a research while we are not taking a part of what we research for. So the non-participative affects the result of the research, of the collecting data of the research, I mean. And the last is document review. So in this part we are reviewing, we are reviewing or analyzing the document, the review, yes. So we attempt to find documents or articles or data that relates to our research. For example, our research wants to talk about the improvement of learners in speaking, education, learning process. Yes. So in this part, we are talking about the improvement of the students in speaking skill. So we have to find out the documents that relate to our research. For example, maybe we want to talk about, so we are talking the improvement. We collect the document from report, from the result of the midterm test, or the result, the assessment of the final project, and etc. So there are 4 ways in collecting data. Okay, the fifth step or process in doing research is analyzing and interpreting the data. So we have to do analyze again, and interpret. Okay, we have to do analyze and interpreting the data that we have collected before. For example, when we are doing a the qualitative manner, it means we have to analyze and interpret again the data, the qualitative of the experience data that we have collected. Okay, and the last steps or process is reporting and evaluating the research or the study itself. So after we write our research, so we attempt to do report, then we distribute it to some readers, either like what I said before, or teachers, lecturers, and many kind of readers. Exactly right. And then after we are doing a report, we try to evaluate whether our research has does our research has the quality, or has it been worth it, has it been good for to be published and to be consumed by many readers all over the world. So we have to evaluate what we have written or what we have made the research since the first step until the last. So it's like we have to it's like, yes, cross check our research in order our research will be better, will be good, will be worth it, will be beneficial for all people in the world. Well, guys, maybe that's all the 6 steps and process of doing research. I hope that all of you are understand about my explanation, and I really beg my pardon if I have made many mistakes. And last I say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Goodbye.